Sorry, because we've been filming a number of these episodes. Could you repeat the question?
Welcome to the Old Fashioned Real Estate Show, where hosts Brian Leverage and Jeffrey Holst for our old fashioned real estate advice.
Episode 31.
Welcome to the Old Fashioned Real Estate Show. My name is Jeff Holst, and this is Brian
Leverage.
Oh, that was great, Brian.
Yeah.
You knew your own name. Who knew? It's pretty
impressive.
I did. Oh, that makes sense. I like your hair today. It's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Just a minute ago, we changed sweaters. Not exchanged sweaters, but we put our sweaters on so that people wouldn't know that we filmed this intro at the same time as the last intro.
Right.
And then I just gave it away for the purposes of this intro. But we're going to answer some viewer questions. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you send questions to us over Facebook Messenger, text message, if you call Brian's cell phone, which is 310, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not giving your cell phone number out. It is a 310 number because he's one of those California guys. But if you send us messages or if you have Brian's cell phone number, you can just call him and ask him questions.
For a small fee.
Yes, that's right. A small fee being one old-fashioned. You can get those questions answered on a future episode of our show. I don't think you can get them in time for this show because we're filming it right now. And so unless you call him right this second, which would be amazing, given that this is being recorded and not broadcast. But do you want to wait a second and see if anyone calls?
No.
Okay. All right, cool. But anyway, so we're going to answer some of your questions. I think we got some good ones. I hope you enjoy.
Yep.
All right, so we have a few questions that we've gotten from viewers, like we were saying. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
That's kind of probably true. Okay, do you want the hard one or the easy one first?
That's a weighted question.
Well, let's go with an easy one. So one of our, and I want to ask this question because Coty has asked a question on every question and answer episode, and we really appreciate that, Coty. So Coty texted me the other day, and he said, have you used any new apps, computer software, or websites to enhance your investing? Which I realized in a previous episode we covered this. I'm just wondering if you have any new thoughts.
Not really.
No? So we would refer you back to your response from the previous episode? Fair enough. Well, he's specifically looking at, is there anything that you've used to enhance your ability to analyze property? So is there any kind of like maybe Zillow? Do you like Zillow? Zillow?
Well, I'm about to like Zillow less because they're going to start charging
Well, they
for
probably
listings.
already have by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah, that's right.
In fairness.
Yeah.
So, but I think, so what I do, Coty, is I look at Zillow just to sort of get a general idea of the neighborhood. I kind of get the feel of the neighborhood. And then I'll look at things like MLS for comps. So if I'm looking at analyzing a single family or a small multifamily, that's what I'm doing.
So, yeah, I mean, to kind of expand on that a little bit, when we're looking at, say, rental values, right, you can actually go on Zillow, click the rental button up at the top, you throw in the address, and it'll pull up rental, properties that are actually listed on Zillow for rent at that time, and you can kind of establish some rent comps. You can also use Craigslist. That's probably about, aside from finding random girls on the internet, the other thing that it's best utilized for.
I don't think they do that anymore. I think they shut that down.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not single, so. I'm just saying.
Nor am I yet.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not sure what to take of that, but apparently Brian's about to be available. So if you guys are interested, you can give him a call. His number is
310 ...
That's right. Send us an email at brian@oldfashionedrealestate.com.
So,
I love how you just cut me off. All right. But anyway, so rentometer's another one.
Your rentometer's a good one. So we, when we're kind of doing an analysis, we'll generally use all three of those and sort of average in to kind of come up with something.
Yeah, and what about other technology, websites, anything like that? I mean, I use Excel a lot. You've seen my model.
Yeah.
I think Excel is really good, but it's only as good as the model that you build on Excel. Obviously, CoStar is good. If you have a premium subscription to that can be very valuable.
That costs an absolute premium on the other hand.
But I know that Coty has access to it. So,
that's right.
So I'm thinking, for
he's
him,
not your average listener.
Yeah, it might be useful to him. Yeah. So those are some good things. But yeah, and what you said in the previous episode about bigger pockets and like podcasts and books and stuff, it's really important.
Yeah.
All that technology stuff is really useful. As far as working efficiently, I think just making yourself a list and staying focused is going to be really important to you.
I agree.
Get a good planner, a calendar, or something like that. So that's what I would do with that. So, okay, we have a couple more questions. You ready for these?
Probably not, but fire away.
So this one is from Travis in Michigan.
Oh,
Travis in Michigan. So Travis asks,
it's not law related, right?
No, it's not
Okay.
actually. So Travis asks, how are properties graded? Like the A, B, and C? Like, what does that mean? And like, why is it important to people?
So, a lot of, in generally, we're talking about multifamily properties or commercial properties, although I have seen it applied in single family. And so, A, much like in school, represents the highest grade you can get, and then it goes down from there. B, C.
Do they still use letter grades in school? I thought they were on numbers now or something.
I'm not even sure. It's been a
You
while.
have a child in school, so you should know.
Um,
Does he just get like a plus and a minus now, or is it?
it's he gets both. It's a score plus the letter grade.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
So they're still using it at his school at least.
He
Very
goes
good.
to a good one. But
Fair enough.
anyway, that wasn't necessary. But getting back in to your point, Travis. So A properties generally represent a certain size, if we're talking about multifamily especially. So it's generally something that's like 10 years old or less, and a certain unit size, like, say 200 units or more, okay? And then a B is, say, 10 to 20 years of age, similar unit sizes. And then C is generally anything else. Most times in real estate grades, per se, you actually don't see Ds. So if you come across a D, it's usually in a super bad area.
It's a war zone.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
Or it's only got 12% occupancy.
Which is the other
and
point, is that the letter grade often refers to the location of the property as well.
Right. So the way I understand it, I think there's A, B, and C in potentially D class locations, and then there are A, B, and C in D class properties. And really, if you the best of the best would be like an A property in an A location, and the worst of the worst would be like a D property in a D location. And I think that is applied somewhat regularly to single families.
I was just
as well.
about to say that. You see Ds with single family.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
about
You
it.
see like inner city properties that are run down,
High crime areas.
Yeah,
etc.
you see that sort of thing. So that's I think how you look at those. And then he also asked a follow-up question, which is what are the advantages of each? And I think the advantages is that the A stuff, while it's more expensive, is going to be a little bit more stable, maybe a little bit more predictable, but will have a lower yield. And as you move to B and C, you might have a little bit higher return, but there's a little bit more unpredictability.
Thanks for taking that question for me. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. I felt like being generous this time. So we have a few more questions.
All right.
Andrea from Chattanooga.
Where's that?
We're in her building right now, actually. So if you like this building, you can thank Andrea, one of our fans from Chattanooga. She's donated this office space to us for the purpose of filming the show.
Yes. By donate, you mean we pay rent for it.
That's I don't pay rent for it. You
we,
might.
meaning us. Yes.
But anyway, Andrea, I appreciate you letting me use your office space, even though Brian pays for it. I sense a theme on this show of you paying for things, actually, but
that's another episode entirely. I think.
Which reminds me, you need to buy me some alcohol or steak or something.
Okay.
Anyway, so Andrea actually sent us a series of questions, and then she said, "Here are the topics I would like you to discuss. These are not formed as questions. Sorry."
Okay.
All right. So the first one is building a strong investment team.
You need to, depending on, again, the asset class and the market you're looking to go into, you need to sort of understand why it is you're going into that market. And then once you've identified those reasons, you need to identify the people that will potentially be on your team. Those include everything from attorneys, CPAs, title companies, realtors, property managers, thank you. And, joining, like, again, the local RIAs and stuff like that to network.
All right. And she had a couple more. I'm going to be a little cherry picky here and not pick everyone because it might take a while otherwise.
Yeah.
If you had $10,000 and you wanted to get started in real estate investing, what would you do with it?
$10,000, get started in real estate investing. What would I do with it?
Yeah, what are your options? That's what she actually said.
So what are your options? Your options are you could spend a little bit on education, depending on your base level of understanding. Education, there's always a cost, right? You can pay for somebody else to teach you, or you can pay to learn on your own, which is often more expensive than the
Also, potentially more effective, though, right?
Yeah.
Because you learn that lesson. If you lose money on a deal, you're going to learn that lesson.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah,
So,
right.
and I'm sorry, because we've been filming a number of these episodes. Could you repeat the question?
What would you do with $10,000?
$10,000.
Get started.
Yeah. So 10 grand is more than likely not going to get you into a single property if you're looking for a buy and hold. So then you have to look at, like, what do we want to do? Do we want to do wholesaling, which is how a lot of people get started? And you can spend several $1,000s on different marketing techniques that would potentially bring you leads, whereby you could convert those leads and make profit.
But I would be cautious about that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you really are just getting started, wholesaling sounds good because it's a low dollar amount, but it's easy to make bad decisions in wholesaling if you don't know real estate very well. So the education,
but it's the lowest barrier of entry within investing. And maybe my last part to that answer would be save up till you've got 20.
Yeah, right. Well, I would suggest that it depends a lot on your circumstance. Yeah. See, we know Andrea, so we know her circumstance is a little different than what some people's might be. But some people's circumstance would be that they maybe are living at home with their family still because they're a young person. They might take that $10,000 and put 5% down on a $100,000 duplex. And
or you could maybe partner with somebody else and buy something for 20%, $20,000 down, etc. Double your...
Yeah, or you could do some kind of crowdfunding investment, some kind of REIT, which is a real estate investing trust. You could do some kind of syndication deal that maybe has a smaller entry point, like a $5,000 minimum buy-in or a $10,000 minimum buy-in.
Those, for practical purposes, don't really exist.
I mean, there are a few. They're rare for sure. But the point is, you could definitely look at those options, and those are some things that you could do. Now, as far as what I would do with $10,000, I actually agree with Brian. I don't think it's quite enough to get involved in real estate investing. I think the trick there would be, if you're not going to partner with someone, to just use that for education and at the same time be continuing to pile up a little bit more money so that you can make a slightly larger investment.
That's right.
Yep. And you might be able to do owner financing, right? Like somebody might finance you for $5,000 or $10,000.
Or depending on what your debt level is, you could pay that down too.
Well, yes. If you have a credit card that's like 25%, pay that off and then don't invest in it.
That's the other side of the ledger.
All right. Yeah. Well, listen, so that was great. Thank you for those questions, Coty, Andrea, and whoever else it was.
Travis,
yeah. My good friend Travis.
Can't believe you forgot.
I didn't forget about Travis. I just forgot that we asked a question from him. So thank you for that, and we look forward to seeing you in a future episode.
Salute.